Today I'm gonna do a water change on this tank. This is my 29-gallon. It's home to quite a few fish, as you can probably see. It's probably a bit overstocked. I don't think that I'm gonna be putting really any more fish in here, because there's a lot of babies that came from some platies that I got at Walmart. It started out with like 3 of them, and there's a ton in here. Anyways, I'm going to be doing that water change. This tank, it also needs some maintenance done to it, so I'm probably going to be cleaning out the filter a little bit. But I wanted you guys to see something. I don't know, I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but I hate it myself, so please don't judge me. I'm trying to figure out a way to fix it. I think I'm probably going to end up getting a circulation pump because, I don't know. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move the filter that's over here in this corner on the right hand side to a different, in the middle of the tank. Maybe I'm hoping that that will help with circulation happening better in the tank, because I don't really seem to be seeing a problem in the right hand side of the tank. Where the problem really seems to be is on the left hand side of the tank. And I think part of it is due to the fact that, 1, the filter is pushed so far over to the right, and 2, the fact that there's so many plants in there. Like, I am going to have to trim some of this pennywort out. Like, this plant, no joke, grows like crazy. Like, I just trimmed it like a week or 2 ago, and it's out of control again. So I guess I'm going to have to be a little bit more aggressive with it this time, as far as trimming it back goes. I just like it because it is a really nice and attractive plant to me, and you know, it's one of the water column feeding plants, so it takes out a lot of nutrients such as nitrates in the water. So that's why I like to leave a bit of it in there. They also seem to enjoy swimming in and around and through it, but my other plants then suffer a bit not getting as much light and stuff. So that definitely needs to be trimmed up. But the problem that I was telling you about, I'm going to show you now. It is quite disgusting. If you don't want to see fish poop, probably don't watch right now, because there's a lot of it. There's not a lot of circulation happening over in this side of the tank. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is a lot of fish poop accumulation right here. It's not bad over here, but right here it seems to get stale and stagnant, and there just is a cluster of poop, and it's not good. So my plan is to take that filter over here in this corner and move it to the middle. Probably also, I'm thinking maybe would help is to, I've got a very small air stone in there, barely just bubbling at the surface, so it's not doing a whole lot, but I'm probably going to stick it over here in this corner, right here, so that maybe it'll help keep things from building up in that corner. So I guess I'm going to try to find a place to situate you so that I can get my siphon pump in the water and get this going. What I have to do to start it now is I have to lift this up out of the waterways and then drop it back down. fact of what I use for actually a lot of things. They come in these little bags, like this. They're at the dollar store. They're in like the wedding gift section and everything. They're just these little meshy type bags. I rinse them out. I use these for a lot of things. I use them for filter media, I use in small tanks and stuff, which is pretty much all that I have. I use them for, like I was saying, to put on the end of my hoses and stuff that go into the drains, so that I can make sure that if I accidentally did suck up a fish, that's where it's going to go. Because I like using those water changers better than the bucket method, but that's the risk you kind of take, it seems to me, with the water changer method. Because if you suck up a fish, it's just going to go down your drain and it's going to die. And I don't like that thought at all. So that's why I use those mesh bags. Now, what I'm going to do, I think, is, first things first, I'm going to trim up some of this pennywort. It is a disaster in there. A lot of it needs to go. I really kind of like that jungly effect that it creates in there, so I don't want to get rid of a whole lot, but I do want to get rid of a decent amount so that I can actually have some light hitting my other plants and everything and doesn't choke everything else out. I'm just going to use this tote that I got from the dollar store. Just going to probably badly set it on top of my tank so that it can fall off and cause problems later, but yeah, that'll be fun. So let's go ahead and start trimming these plants up. And I just trim off little bits at a time, just because I want more control over what I'm taking out of my tank. Here's random bacopa just weed in amongst it too. So what I use for dechlorinating this tank, because it lasts an amazing amount of time, for how many uses you can get out of it, is Seachem Safe. You only need a very little bit of this stuff to actually dechlorinate your tank, and so it'll last you pretty much forever. It's seriously like a very small pinch that you want to use. You don't want to use very much in there at all. So again, I'm going to take this thing here, which is a digital thermometer, and I'm going to check the temperature of the tank. It's about 76 degrees. So I'm going to go match my water temperature. And I've got some of these like cooking spoon things that are like a drop, a smidgen, stuff like that, tad. I'm going to use the drop one. And I'm going to take my bottle of the Seachem Safe, get out like a spoonful of it, and dump it in the tank. Filter, because it's pretty gross. It's been in here for a while without being clean, but I didn't clean it specifically because I did add fish in from my quarantine tank not that long ago, and so I didn't really want to mess up the biological filtration by cleaning it out and then dumping a bunch more fish in there. That would have been a really bad idea. I'm taking just a little bit of water in this measuring cup, hanging it on the side. I'm going to take this BioGrid and just stick it in the water to keep its beneficial bacteria on it. So this is what I use. Everybody else has probably seen videos about this stuff too. It's just polyfill. Like 100% polyester quote batting. is what you use. So it's like kind of sheets of, I can't think. I think it's got brain farts going on. It's just like sheets of filter media, basically. And you just take your thingamabob and you cut it to your thingamabob. And I better be paying attention to my tank, because it's going to overflow if I don't. Okay. So here we have it. This is the thing that I just cut out of that batting. It's a little thin sheet. So then, what you do is you take this piece. It's going to drip all over my floor. I'm just going to put this mat under it. This piece that was originally the filter piece, and lay it on top of that. And then what you do, oh, I'm making a mess. You take this biograde piece, and you snap it over that new piece that you just put on there. Like a these. And then it's ready to go back in your filter. I don't know if you can see this nasty bucket of poo soup in here with the old filter media in it. Basically what I do with this stuff, because I don't want to lose all the beneficial bacteria that I had in this tank by doing that, which is basically what I just did. If I threw all this stuff away, I'd have a big problem. So I take these old pieces that I squeezed out in here, best I can, give them one last squeeze, and just kind of pop them back in and behind the new filter. So that way, and you don't have to put all of it back in there, just a good amount of it back in there, because you need that good stuff still. Like, you want to get this nasty stuff out as much as possible, but you want to have some of the good stuff still in there. And you put it behind there because that is what will flow into your new piece and make it seeded with the good bacteria too. Like this piece right here, I'm just going to completely throw it away. Like, it's pretty done. I think that I got some other decent pieces in there. And I know this is kind of counterproductive, but since I've had problems with this happening in the past, taking out too much beneficial bacteria, I take this nasty bucket of poo soup and I pour just a little bit of it back in behind the filter again. It makes my water disgusting. The rest of it, I take it and I go and throw it in the sink. You can see my nasty, finished, dirty, murky tank. But the last thing that I do to clean up my tank when I'm finished cleaning off everything is, this is a spray bottle. It only has just pure water in it. There's no chemicals of any kind in here. Just pure tap water. And I basically just spray my tank. I don't want to use any toxic chemicals. But when you do cleaning to your tank like this, you get like water drip lines and stuff all down the tank. So I go through and spray it, and then just take my rag that I've been using to dry my hands off and stuff throughout the duration of doing maintenance to the tank, and then I just rub it all over the tank and clean up everything best I can. But that's basically it. I'm hoping that this is really going to fix the problem with the poop. Looks much better to me. There's more light. You can already tell, even though it's foggy as heck in there. There's already more light in there penetrating the ground and the plants. And the poop is cleaned up. No more poop. I mean, there is a little bit right there. Right there. I should probably go through with like a turkey baster and clean it out. I might do that. I'm back again. So this is the final product of the tank that we just cleaned up. It looks pretty good. Looks nice and clean. I'm actually seeing, it looks like the poop in the corners and stuff is drifted away and cleaned up. So I'm very happy about that. Hopefully it stays decent. One thing that I did realize to do after I was off the camera was my intake tube of this tank was kind of clogged up with like old snail shells and some pennywort and stuff that had wedged itself into the filter intake. So that kind of didn't help with the flow, but it seems to be doing really well now and everything looks good, so I'm happy with it. What I was going to tell you about the, you didn't really get to see a lot of throughout the whole video is the top of this tank, so I'll kind of show you what it looks like and what pieces I was telling you that I was messing around with. So that plastic piece back there is what I was messing with earlier. Here is the pothos plant that's in the way of the other one that I was a little bit worried about fish jumping out, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. Again, why that filter is not sitting exactly flush and stuff is because I'm doing that experimental nitrate filter. So yeah, it looks a hell of a lot better. Fish look happy. They're happy that it's cleaned up and looking better. And I'm happy that they're happy. So I hope that everybody enjoyed this video. And I'll give you just a couple minutes of silence to just kind of enjoy watching the fishes.